Today's ship is the Zao, and this ship, of course, has been in the game a long time, much like all the ships I've done so far, but I really want to go back and take a look at all of the old ships with this one-take series to start with. I'll try to go in order. I don't really remember exactly on some of the earlier ships when they came out, but I'll do my best to go in some sort of order with these things. This is how I have my ship set up at the moment. I might try something a little different later. Of course, we do have the option of the improved bridge, which is the unique upgrade, and it does a decent job. But I do prefer range on this ship at the moment, just because, well, we all know how campy the tier 10 games can get these days. So, jumping into a game, instant queue. Look at that. No waiting for 2 minutes in a queue. That's pretty nice. Hopefully, we get a good match out of it. Something you probably noticed is that I am running defensive fire instead of hydro. I find with the Zao, you really do struggle against the carriers. Yes, there is an option to... Oh, wow, hold on. Wait, what? How is... What? Are there no battleships? Did they remove them? What the heck is this game? Alright, so we're gonna be facing... We're gonna be facing cruisers and DDs. I wish I had hydro. Yeah, I wish I had hydro, but that's okay. Because Zao can crush cruisers and destroyers. I'll be honest, I wish I was in that Venezia. That would probably be the best ship. Maybe the Petro, actually, for this game mode. But, well, we'll see what happens here. This is not your usual game. Of course, the goal with the one-take series is to actually show you a real look at the ship. But I don't know what the heck this is. Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I just can't get over this Matchmaker. I don't know if I've seen this. Have I ever seen this many destroyers and no battleships, no carrier? I don't think I have. That's a first. So the interesting thing about this is you really don't have to worry as much about getting one shot. So we can play a little bit more aggressive and hopefully get some big hits on some destroyers especially. Zao, of course, well known for being accurate and having hard hitting HE. Of course, you don't get the crazy reload of some of the other ships like Des Moines, which we'll probably take a look at next. But this is the original concept of a ship like the Venezia. Of course, I think Venezia is just better than Zao at this point. It does the role better. But Zao is still a decent ship. Of course, with Venezia, you don't get fires. And fires help a lot against battleships. They're not so good against cruisers and DDs, but I think Zao might be slightly better than some of the... Maybe some of the more AP-focused cruisers, but there's not a lot of cruisers that I would say are, you know, worse than a Zao. Kabrask, we get one hit. Actually, it penned. Sometimes you're not going to pen as much. So there's a Minotaur here. Okay. A little spooky, but I shouldn't be turning more broadside. That is stupid. And we shattered a bunch. Well, he's going to focus on the Petro. Unfortunately, I think the Petro used his radar pretty early on. Salem. Salem is a good target for us because we're going to get a ton of full pens on him. He, of course, gets a huge heal, so our fires aren't going to do as much damage to him, but, well, our HE is just going to chunk him out. Gotta make sure we stay angled because Salem AP obviously hurts. Zao, of course, struggles mainly because of its turret angles. You're not quite as bad as the Kerr First is, but you can think of this ship a little bit like the Kerr First, where turret angles are your main weakness, meaning that you're going to be broadside a lot more. And this ship, while it's reasonably stealthy, it's not the most stealthy ship at tier 10, and you're not the fastest, you're not the best maneuvering ship, but you do have a decent combination of strengths, I guess, to make this ship worth playing. I don't think this is a bad ship in the meta. Especially against battleships. You're really, really strong against battleships. Assuming you angled correctly. If you're curious about a more normal game, surprisingly enough, I had a game talking about how strong cruisers are. And it was actually on this map as well, on the other side. It's using islands intelligently. That is the key. This game has not started off very well. We've lost 2 DDs already, which is not very good. Hopefully, hopefully our team doesn't just crumble right away. I'm going to actually head back to the middle just to try and, I don't know, recover a bit of ground over here. Create some crossfires, all that good stuff. This would be a decent position if I was fighting against battleships, because they would likely be bow in down here somewhere, and I'd be using islands to keep myself safe, that kind of thing. Fortunately, you are now capable of... Oh, I don't have expert loader. I don't have expert loader? I should have expert loader. You're able to shoot your torps from behind your teammates now, since there's no team damage, which is a really nice thing to have now. But, of course, you still want to use them effectively. I'm hoping there's a DD or something going to show up here. Use our plane. Minotaur is continuing at full speed. We'll use our AP. He probably is going to angle. Yep. Hopefully our Petro is going to be turning his guns for him. And we should get actually some pretty decent hits off on this guy. He's going to be forced to be bow in. And our Petro should not overmatch him, but he has improved pen angles, so it's possible the Petro is just going to nuke him here. That would be pretty cool. Got some overpens. Is this guy just going to sit broadside on? And... okay. I guess he's not going to use his radar. Oh, he uses it late. That's sad. Although, Minnow is leaving? Okay, he got him. Nice. We have a Gearing in front of us. We have a Colbert in front of us. And we have a Kalba in front of us. We want our HE now. I used these torps already, unfortunately. Just overpens. Nothing too good there. Gearing used his torps, so I'm okay with turning out here. It's not a huge deal. What a weird match. I gotta say, what a weird match. Our team is taking control of the 1-2 lines, which is pretty good. We're kind of struggling over here, I'd say. See if I can help my team out with this Venezia. Our Petro died to Minotaurs. That's bad. I think I'm actually going to use my first heal, because we're a little bit weak. Especially against something like a Colbert. He reverses out for me, that might not be so fun. Gearing should have his torps up soon, and he's likely going to torp me. The only major threat at this point. Torps are back up, may as well use them. Yeah, there's the Colbert. I think we'll just go dark if we can. We can! Nice. Weird match. I don't know if I'm going to show you guys all of this one. No, I'm sorry. This is not the best one take. I mean, that's kind of the point of this series, isn't it, though? That I just show you whatever I get? What a weird game. What a weird game. Oh, I wish I had AP for that shot. That's for sure. Oh, he accelerated very quickly. I think my plane will spot him. I think my plane might spot him. Shimakaze way overstayed his welcome over there. And is going to die because of that. Let's see if we can say hello to this Venezia. Even detonated? Oh, poor guy doesn't even get dead flags anymore. Too bad. Venice is turning around. I honestly have no idea what to do here. This is one of those games where I have played the game a long time, but I have zero idea what I'm supposed to do. I actually have nearly 1 million potential damage already, which is kind of crazy. That probably came from torps, if I had to guess. How do I play this? How do I play this? Because we kind of need to get into the caps. Yeah, like my team is doing work on the one line, but I think it's better if I don't die. I can't die here. Okay, we're detected. Might get shot here a little bit. Maybe. Yep. Yours has so much HP. He has so much HP. That's bad for me. And there's Venice coming. Oh, this is so bad for me, dude. Uh-oh. I need to nuke this guy right here. Citadels, please? I know it's so unlikely on a Venice. No, of course not. Venice is almost impossible to Citadel for most ships. Although it deterred him, so that's good. Wow, our team just got absolutely destroyed. Nothing to do but lose this one. Too bad. Our torps, of course, have poor angles, so it's going to be hard to make use of them. But you throw them out anyway, just in case. See if we can get some damage on this Kaba. We have to aim a little bit high. We don't want to hit his belt. Then we get our damage in. That's good. Oh my goodness, there's a Nevsky here too. I'm so dead, guys. I have to go broadside to this guy. And Nevsky AP hurts. I mean, assuming he gets good dispersion. Wow, okay. Hey, we're alright. But yeah, the Venice is why I had to go broadside there. There's the Nevsky salvo that hit me. Our AP did a decent chunk there. One more salvo for the road. Oh, please. Citadels? Only one. We got 2 Citadels on him. 2 million potential damage. What a weird match. Team just melted. Sometimes that happens. Unfortunate. What a weird match without a battleship, though. Or a carrier. And DDs. I guess it's the same old, DDs win the fight, right? They're so impactful, right? And that's where if you want to win more games or feel like you have more of an impact on the match, playing a DD is a great way to do that. If you're frustrated with your teammates, try playing a destroyer. I think that's a great way to have a little bit more control over the game. Yeah, you might not be shooting as much, you might not be in the thick of it as much, although destroyer knife fights are pretty fun. It's a great way to feel like you have more impact on the game, because this match, obviously, I didn't have much impact, and looking back on it, I don't really know if there was anything else I could have done that match. I'm actually not sure. Maybe you guys can let me know, but that was just we didn't have a ton of spotting, and our DDs kind of YOLO'd in, and we lost the middle, our flank crumbled, and then I was just left to kite, and there's just nothing I could do, I think. Man, what a weird match. Gotta say, I gotta say, I miss having battleships to farm, because it gives you a clear goal, right? When you're in a cruiser, especially an HE spamming cruiser, it gives you a very clear goal. If you don't know what to do, set up in a position to HE spam the enemy battleships. That is, I mean, it's not the most impactful thing to do, but at least something is to do, right? Whereas a match like that is just weird. Very weird. Anyways, on to the next one. Zao is still a decent ship. Talking about the history of this thing in the game. When it came out, this game, Zao was one of the strongest cruisers. And that had a lot to do with the stealth fire mechanic. And for those of you who don't know, this was changed a long time ago. But you actually could shoot your guns and not get detected in open water. Pretty crazy, right? You, as long as your concealment was good enough. Gun bloom, right? When you shoot your guns, your detection didn't go to your maximum gun firing range. It actually went, depending on the gun caliber, I believe, it went a certain distance outside of your concealment range. So for Zao, if you ran a full concealment build and you ran range, you had, I think, a 3-kilometer window? It was something like that. You shot your guns, your detection would bloom to 15 kilometers. So from 15 to 18 kilometers, you could shoot in open water and not get detected. Yeah, it was pretty busted. And there were other ships too. Like Gearing was a really good example of that as well. It could stealth fire. Some people I know even ran something like a Kagero. Right? Like you would have a gunboat Kagero and your concealment would go to 8 kilometers maybe, or your detection would, and you had like 10-kilometer firing range. Pretty insane. Give me 1 second. My dog needs a little bit of attention. All right, we're back. Just want it up on the bed, you know. This match, hopefully, will be a little bit more normal. I really, really hope so. Because I do think Zao is a good ship, and I don't want to portray it as a bad ship. I know it's a bit of a meme ship for being not amazing, but it's really not that bad of a ship anymore. It's still a pretty strong ship. It did get the torpedo buff, allowing it to use 12-kilometer torps instead of the normal 8 kilometers that it came with. But yeah, it's not like the Des Moines where it's just been buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed like crazy. Des Moines has had numerous buffs to keep it in the meta, and that's why Des Moines feels a lot more strong compared to the Zao these days. This is a good tactic to use. I'm a little too close to this Elbing, I think, but if you run somewhat parallel with your DD, and, you know, with an Elbing, it has around 7-kilometer detect, depending on the build it runs. So you try and make it so the destroyer and your detection line on the minimap is at the exact same point. And that way, you get spotted, your DD gets spotted, and then you're as close as you can be to surprise an enemy destroyer. I have AP loaded. I mean, it's a broadside Monty, so it's not a bad thing to have loaded, but not the best either. We do want fires, because that is one of the strengths of Zao. It just gets fires. That's what it does. Oh, unfortunately, we don't have more spotting on this guy. Wait for our detection to go dark, and then we'll turn in, actually. Because our Elbing hasn't actually spotted anything, as crazy as that sounds. Yeah, they're leaving this flank. So the Venezia and the Montana spawned down here, and they left, and this Nevsky is coming back. So as much fun as it would be to just sit here and farm the battleship, I think we gotta go after the Nevsky. That's gonna keep our DD alive the longest. Our Monty should absolutely crush this guy, though. Especially if he gets stuck in front of this island, that would be incredible. All right, we got to fire on the Montana. That's all I wanted. And now we're going to shoot the Nevsky. Keeping your DDs alive, of course, helps you win games. And Zao's pretty good at that. You can see just how bad the turret angles are on this ship. I'm not quite at the best angle I could be, but you know, you can see how quickly you start to lose access to some of your rear-firing turrets. I think if Wargaming was looking to buff this ship, I would, honestly, I would love to see just simply a turret angle buff, allowing you to have maybe a 35-degree angle on your turrets. I'm pretty sure that the worst angle is around 44 degrees. That is a lot. That is a lot of broadside to give people. This guy's going to go broadside, so we are actually going to switch to AP because, as you saw, we can definitely citadel these guys. Oh, I missed. Too bad. Monty shot. Oh, he gets a decent hit. Oh my goodness, he actually got an amazing hit. Elbing might finish him. Elbing does finish him. That's the thing, man. You put an Elbing on a flank, it crushes. Done a decent amount of damage so far. But the key here is we've won this flank. And if you're looking to play this map, it is all about maintaining the flanks. Because the middle is such a easy thing to just stalemate on. There's so many islands here. There's really strong islands all around this cap. And it's just so unbelievably easy to just stalemate and nobody does anything. So if you can win the flanks of the map, you're going to do much better. A lot of times you'll see in games that your team gets steamrolled because they lose the flanks. right? Because at this point, we're creating a crossfire down here, and our team has this control all the way up here. So these guys are pincered, right? And they just kind of have to kite away from us because we get these really good islands here to spam HE from and all that stuff. So they're going to have a really, really, really hard time controlling this. Of course, we do have to watch out for them making a counter push out here, but that usually doesn't happen because they're giving broadside to somebody, right? If these cruisers decide to push us here, they're giving broadside to this Montana and Bourgogne. It's very difficult for the enemy team to do anything at this point, unless they really coordinate well with their DDs and everything. Wow, our Montana is hitting some really, really good shots right now. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't be surprised if he's close to 80 or 90k damage already. Maybe 100k. Pretty good stuff. I am going to be on the lookout for this Z52. Can I get a shot into this Monty yet? I can. Maybe we can finish him off. Z52 is burning. Oh, I think my shots hit the island. But I actually don't think I want to go any farther than this. This is about as far as I want to go. Because we push too hard, and then we're going to just start meeting opposition. So, 2 seconds. We're going to go dark. There we go. And now we're going to get into a bit of a kiting position. But the main thing is we're going to get behind this rock. And this Montana coming in is just going to be food for us. He's just going to be food. Zao is great at starting fires on battleships. Only got 3 so far, but you can do some crazy work with it. In fact, this Elbing has a smoke, so we might just sit here and smoke. See, 1 hit, 1 fire. You just got to talk about fire chance, and oh no, this guy damage controlled 1 fire. Well, let's see how our RNG goes. Can we punish a 1 fire damage controlling battleship? Of course, this is not recommended unless you're on really low health, or you're getting behind an island, or you're getting into a position where you're able to, you know, not be shot at. And we instantly get a fire. Very good. He's got fire prevention, though. Something worth considering is it's maybe okay to damage control a fire if you got fire prevention, because it's harder for people to light multiple fires on you. I'm going to try and hit up this guy and hopefully get a rear fire. Putting these out for the Venezia. No rear fire, unfortunately. But you see this crossfire. This Venezia is getting cross-shot by these guys up here. And the farther we come down here, the harder it's going to be for them to actually do anything. Because it's not easy to push into ships in the first place. And if you got to push into a crossfire, oh no. We're just managing our positioning. We're not trying to overcommit into this flank because, well, our team has a lot of control over here, and that means that their team has really pushed back into their spawn to try and deal with our flank. Alright, so me committing out down here would be a great way to die. And in fact, you can see how I'm angled in such a way to actually kite away from this side of the map. I was wondering how I was spotted. That's the Marceau. And doesn't look like he's going to stay lit. So we'll just reverse angle. Oh, Venezia will get a good hit into us here. This is going to hurt. But we have a heal, and he revealed himself, and he's going to die. See, he instantly dies to this crossfire, man. It's so powerful. And this is something that Zao is pretty decent at, is getting into the flanks of the enemy ships. It's not the best. Venezia is probably better with its ability to just smoke through gaps. Something you might have noticed already in our questioning is, why is my concealment like 11 kilometers? Well, that's because I'm running heavy HE. And heavy HE makes already pretty insane high explosive shells even more crazy. They're really, really, really strong when they pen. And honestly, the concealment's still pretty solid at 11.4, I think. We'll see when it resets eventually, but I'm predicting that I'm just going to continue to shoot here. Look at that, 7,000 damage with HE there. And that was only 6 pens, and we shoot 12 shells. You can land some huge hits. It's nowhere near Venezia, right? Venezia, of course, is the absolutely insane ship for alpha damage, but this thing ain't bad. This thing's not bad. So our Elbing is going to get rushed by the Marceau and the Z-52 more than likely. So us being here gives him the ability to, you know, play here a little more comfortably. Another 5,000 damage. Pretty good stuff. It's likely I'm going to get shot here by the Ohio. And this is why I'm running propulsion mod, because it allows you to get up to speed a lot quicker. And hopefully that means you can angle to battleship shooting at you. So they're in D, but that's okay. We don't need to give up. We can give this flank up a little bit. In fact, there's the Marceau. Let's see if we can nuke him real quick. And did I lead that enough? I did. Oh, there's that French saturation. Those French DDs, man. I think I need to trade this out. Hopefully I led that enough and aimed it high enough. Oh, 400. Nice, good job. And now, Ohio is left alone. And we've been using islands the whole time, right? So this match, we haven't taken a ton of potential damage. That's not really what Zao is very good at. You do want to be using these islands to try and mitigate as much damage as possible. And we've just got control of this entire map. The poor enemy team had to try and push back into us. They didn't really have a ton of options there. Honestly, that's a really difficult position to be in. Either they had to push through here, which they did actually pretty successfully. Although I don't see many of our ships dead here, so I guess our team just kind of kited back and let them have that side of the map. And that's fine, because we owned 3 caps here, right? Pushing into this, not an easy task. Unfortunately, our Elbing is not spotting, and I know I shouldn't be complaining like, oh, spot for me, DD, but it really is important for a destroyer to spot for his team. It's really, really important. So anytime you can, especially if you're on decent HP and you're probably not at risk of dying, really good to just open water gunboat in a lot of these scenarios. Maybe we can get the rear fire. Nah, he's just gonna die. On to the Montana. 142,000. This is a very good game. I guess, you know what? I'll keep that first game in. You guys definitely watched it already. There's ups and downs. Not every game can be amazing. Of course, Zao is better when it is able to prevent people from pushing. When people are, you know, pushing into you, that is when Zao is at its absolute strength. It's so strong. I think that's at the Elbing. And there's the game. Not like an astronomical amount of damage, but just a good game. Playing with our team, playing smart, not overcommitting. That is what you have to do in a cruiser these days. You don't want to just open water it when there's battleships around, especially. It's a good ship still. I don't know if I would recommend necessarily grinding this line. The line is a little bit difficult on its way up, but something like the Italian cruiser line I think is just better at this sneaky flanker role. Sure, you don't get the fires, but the alpha damage is so insane on something like a Venezia. And I personally enjoyed the Italian grind a lot more, getting through the tiers. I think they were better ships overall. Yeah, when you get to the Zao, you do get the shell velocity upgrade, and that's what makes this ship kind of work. You get a better reload than all the ships before in the line, as well as the shell velocity buff. As you get into those higher tiers, like Ibuki, sure, Ibuki can get this range, but it doesn't get this reload, and it certainly doesn't get the shell velocity. It's much harder to hit things. So Zao is a good ship still, but the line, it's just old. It's just old, and it just hasn't seen a lot of love recently. So compared to other cruisers, it's not the strongest, but it's still not bad overall. You can still burn down battleships just fine, as well as nuke some DDs. It's great. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.